Good morning, everyone. In the last session, we have learnt about the modes of control. What is mode of control? What are the different modes of control? And especially, we have learned the principle of the working of the on-off control mode of action and also the proportional mode of control action of Unit 3. So, in continuation with the last topic, today we will learn about what is the integral control mode of action, advantages of using the integral control mode of action in any controller, the characteristics of an integral mode, the derivative control mode of action, the characteristics of derivative control mode, and the proportional integral controller, and the differences. So the integral control mode of action is also known as reset control mode of action. Here, the output value of the controller is changed at a rate proportional to the error signal, or the correction is being made based on the error at a rate proportional to the error signal. So integral action eliminates the offset that has remained when the proportional controller is being used. When the proportional control is being used in any controller, even upon using the proportional controller, if the correction is not being made, the error is not being fully eliminated, then in that case, if the integral action is being used, it completely eliminates the offset, the sustainable error. Upon correction, we call it as the offset of that particular instrument. This we have already discussed in our last sessions. So the integral action eliminates the offset that remains when proportional controller is being used. So it is always being dealt with a time. So the error d of t with a time dt is equal to k into e of ki into e of t, where k is a constant relating error and the rate. The constant ki is also called as integral constant. So integrating the above equation, the actual output at any time t can be obtained for the integral control mode of action will be ka into integral of e of t into dt plus p of 0. So what are the advantages of using this integral control mode of action? So the integral control mode of action tend to respond slowly at first, but over a period of time they tend to eliminate the error. There won't be any offset at all by the use of integral control mode of action. And also the integral controller eliminates the steady state error, but has a poor transient response and leads to instability. I hope you are understanding. Then coming to the characteristics of an integral mode. So if the error is 0, the output remains at a fixed value equal to what it was when the error becomes 0. So if there is no error, the output will always remains to the fixed value equal to what it was before. If the error is not 0, then the output begins to increase or decrease at a rate ki percentage per second for every 1% change of error. So this sentence is regarding with how the correction is being made with the integral mode of control action. So if there is an error, if the error is not 0 in the sense, if there is an error, so what is an error? The error is nothing but the difference between the output value of the controller and the set point. So if there is some error, if the error is not 0, then the output begins to increase or decrease at a rate ki percentage per second of every 1% of error. The inverse of ki, the integral constant, is called the integral time and denoted as ti. Ti is nothing but 1 by ki, that we call it as a integral time. So this thing, the second point which is being shown here, this is very important to for the integral mode of control action to work. So this is about the integral mode of control action. So coming to the derivative control mode of action. So derivative control mode of action in which the correction is being made as the derivative mode of action responds to the rate of change of actuating error, and it produces a significant correction at before the magnitude of actuating error becomes too large. As soon as the error is being rectified, it immediately makes a correction. So that is a significant correction is being made before the error becomes too large. So initiates an one of the characteristics of the derivative mode of control action is it initiates an early action and tends to increase the stability of the system. So as soon as error is being rectified, error is being found, immediately the correction is being made, and it tends to increase the derivative mode of control action, increases the stability of the system, and it operates on the rate of change of error and not the error itself. How much the error is being changed, based on that the correction is being made by the derivative mode of control action. And it is always used in, it is not used individually. It is always used in combination with the proportional and the proportional integral control action. So mathematically, how we represent the output value of the manipulated variable is directly proportional to the derivative of the error. Derivative of the error, it is being represented directly proportional to derivative of the error, dE of t divided by dt. So this proportionality constant here is being replaced with a derivative gain constant, as we have learnt in the proportional gain. Here there we have Kp. Here in the derivative mode of control action we have Kd, that is dE of P of t, that is output value of the control variable, is directly proportional to the derivative of the error, dE of t divided by dt. So the proportionality constant is being replaced with the derivative gain constant, that is denoted as K into Kd. So let's look into what are the characteristics of the derivative control mode of action. So for any given rate of change of an error signal, there is a unique value of the controller output in derivative control mode. When the errors is 0, the output controller output is also 0. Whereas in integral mode of control action, when the error is 0, the output remains as a fixed value what it was when the error becomes 0. But here is not the case. So when the error is 0, the controller output is also 0. So when the error is constant, that is the rate of change of error is 0, the controller output is 0. So when the error is changing, the controller output changes by Kd percentage for even 1% per second rate of change of error. So changes is being made by derivative gain constant percentage for every 1% per second rate of change of error. So these are the characteristics of derivative control mode of action. So what is then coming to the proportional integral control mode of action. So as the name only indicates, you can see it is a combination of the proportional control mode of action with the integral mode of control action. So the output value of the controller variable or the manipulated variable is directly proportional to error and the integral of the time error. So that is being Kp into E of t plus Kp into Ki into E of t into dt. That is the proportional integral control mathematical representation. The output is proportional to linear combination of the input error and the time integral of the input error. How do we illustrate this mathematical equation? This is the output. So M is the output is proportional to linear combination of. So this is the linear. Linear is the proportionality. Proportionality. The term. The proportionality term is a linear combination of the input error and the time integral of the input error. Input error. Time integral of the input error is nothing but integration of e of t into dt. E of t is nothing but the input error. So what is the main advantages of using this proportional integral control action? So the main advantage of using this is it will provide a one-to-one correspondence of the proportional mode which is available, and the integral mode which is combined with the proportional eliminates the inherent offset. The offset is completely removed in proportional integral control mode of action. Whatever the offset which is obtained, which cannot be removed by the proportional mode of control action, can be removed by use of an integral control mode of action in combination with the proportional integral mode of control action. So the integral control mode of it's a combination of the two. How we represent it is the output is proportional to linear combination of the input error and the time integral of input error. This is a basic principle of using the proportional integral mode of control action in any controller. So overall we have covered in this session about the integral mode of control action, the mathematical equation of the integral mode of control action, derivative mode of control action, the mathematical equation relating to derivative mode of control action, and what are the characteristics of those control actions, and the proportional integral mode of control action. I hope you have understood. For the more reference, you can refer to these textbooks: Instrumental in Methods of Chemical Analysis by B.K. Sharma, Instrumentation and Process Control by R.P. Vyas, Process Control by Harriet, and the Instrumentation and Process Control by A.P. Kulkarni. I hope you have understood by this session.